I should mention, just because I was there, Walk-On Township, they did extend, they had a meeting, they extended their moratorium as well. They are working with an attorney in Monoman, Elroy Hanson, on drafting some ordinances of their own. They are looking at increasing the current county setbacks, for example, under 300 animal units, from a quarter mile from a residence to a half mile, and then a mile on 300 to 1,000, and then stay at 2 miles on over 1,000. That's been their initial thrust. Their attorney was not able to get the materials done in time before their moratorium ran out, so they passed a 12-month extension, or whenever they get their ordinances draft, they can lift the extension at that, the moratorium at that time. So that's where they are.
You say under 300, a half mile? And
Yeah, I believe that, let's see, I think that
1,000.
was even came up in the, that was mentioned at the last meeting.
300 to 1,000 was 1 mile? Or
Yeah,
No, 1,000 is two, or is it two?
currently the Norman County setbacks from residences are quarter mile up to 300 animal units. They'd like to raise that to a half mile. Go from a half mile to a mile on 300 to 1,000 animal units, and have 2 miles from any residence on over 1,000 animal units. I had also heard they were considering negating the reciprocity of setbacks, and that's why that question came up tonight. Because I didn't, they weren't sure if that was gonna fly or not. Okay, anything else? Alrighty, well then, I guess the next meeting will be the first Wednesday in September already. Oh my. I guess we'll be back at the Gary Legion unless we have another reason to involve high technology. I hope this was acceptable to you. It was, it seemed to work. There's a little blockiness there towards the end, but we got through it. So I would suggest for next time, if anybody wants to contact, if any of the boards want to contact Mr. Gilchrist directly, does anybody have any ideas on how they want to handle that? Would you like to get together amongst yourselves before the September meeting to kind of discuss common ordinances, or do you want to attack Mr. Gilchrist individually?
I guess I would like us to the more we can unite, the better, in my opinion. I mean, it just avoids a lot of duplication, plus I think it's a lot more strength there when you got
More
several,
informative.
yeah, several townships that are all on the same page. And like, now, Spring Creek, that was 300, was 1 mile, right? Is that what you guys have?
Well, I
Yeah.
imagine that setback will have to be, you know, just say one, if they're, we can't hardly, the way it's on by him, we can't hardly just say 1
Yeah.
mile straight through.
Yeah,
It's gotta be graduated,
that's what I'm thinking, is we gotta
Yeah.
come to an agreement on what we want, and,
but like what Walk-On is proposing,
Yeah.
that would sound, you know,
yeah.
the county's one is lax.
Yeah, well, that's, I guess that's what I would want us, like he said too, the easiest is if we can have the county change their, to match what we
Yeah.
want.
I'll be at every meeting if you try to do that.
To-
Because when you do hard and fast rules like this,
Yeah,
you eliminate a whole section
right,
of livestock, because 300, so if you have 300 cow-calf pairs, that's still a feedlot, and by how Minnesota deems it, would you think 300 cow-calf pairs is too many?
It's highly unlikely that there'd be that many 300 cow-calf ranches up in this area, in our township.
I don't know, there's 3,000 cows probably within 5 miles of fertile animals.
Down in Spring Creek Township.
But it's a poor way to look at it. You're
Well,
eliminating any livestock.
Well, no, not
period.
really. I mean, the whole thing, bigger isn't always better.
No,
No.
but I also believe livestock is a lot more important than you're giving it credit for. I would much rather use manure to fertilize than commercial fertilizer. It's a better fertilizer. It does more better for the soil.
I've used manure all my life.
I know, and that's why I'm sorry, but I'm just trying,
Well,
I have a hard time with hard and fast rules.
Well,
That's the
that's-
offset tool,
yeah.
that one is a better way, but to me, cause it takes in consideration types of operations. But,
Animal units, that goes by weight, isn't it?
yep,
Where are you at now with?
I'm in Bear Park, but
I mean, as far as
I'd be
animals-
darn, I only milk 130 cows, which is pretty much on average now.
Yeah, that's
And when I have my heifers, I'm bucking that 300 number.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask, how many animal units you're right around there.
And I do most everything myself, so that's my other problem with animal unit numbers. What do you deem a small family farm, and what do you deem a corporate farm? You can't go by animal unit.
I think we all are looking at the huge ones, you know, with over 1,000.
Well, the biggest dairy farm in Minnesota is largely family run.
Yeah, that's true.
They have 50,000 cows, and it's extended family and goes out a long way. But it's family and you buy into it, and a lot of the same family members are in that
Is that in
operation.
one concentrated spot?
They're considered a CAFO because they don't have 50,000 cows in one spot.
Okay.
But they've been brought up before at these meetings, because of course, they come in and build 2,000-3,000 cow barns, but they have a very large extended family, and it's numerous families, so how else, if they wanted that to be part of their life, that's their business structure on how they do it.
I heard a rumor where this water shortage in California is gonna bring more dairies heading
Midwest,
Dakotas,
I'm
and
sure,
there's some big
I'm sure
ones,
it
yeah.
will.
So, cause there is a big problem out there, is like agriculture or livestock or anything, they have to have water.
They milk right around the clock out there.
Yeah.
I
They do
drove
out
by
here
and
too, so.
Have they done a study on the aquifer? See if the water is gonna be there?
Well, the water table is high, I mean,
No, the water table's gotta be low, otherwise somebody be irrigating over there.
yeah. I mean, our well is 70-some feet, so, you know, if you're gonna dig a hole in the ground and put cement around, I don't call that a deep well at our place.
The aquifer, from studies that have been brought out at previous meetings, the aquifer in this part of Norman County is considered plentiful. There's a lot of water in it. However, it is very slow to recharge. That is, every gallon that is removed from the aquifer takes between 150 and 300,000 years to replace.
Well, we live not too far from the river. I've been there 45 years, and it used to be a flowing well there. There's a lot of flows in that area, but it never flowed till 3 years ago. Some reason, and it flowed all winter long. Now it's down 15 to 20 feet down the pipe. So water came in from somewhere.
Rodney, you actually found it? What does it say?
I know it.
Somebody didn't do that, did they?
You wrote it.
I didn't write it. I wasn't even here. I've been down to the lake. Down there smelling Gurley's pig shit. And it stinks too.
Any other issues or questions?
Y'all have a good one, cause I'll be down in Arkansas next week.
Do people want to meet before next month's regular meeting? Do you all have your phone numbers from one of the mailings that was sent from Township Questions.
Yeah, it didn't have no phone numbers on it.
Oh, that's right, I think I just
Just
put,
addresses.
I think it was just the addresses, yep. I didn't wanna give out personal phone numbers.
Damn right, I'll have to send you a message in the mail.
Have to send him a letter.
Postmarked Arkansas.
Just send the board,
Huh?
just send the board.
Wait, Toad do that to you?
Was this postage due?
Toad didn't send that?
No.
What does it say?
We got kinda an idea who put it
Leave
there.
the county ordinance alone? We ain't even got anything to do with it, Connie.
Who's on the hook for,
Otherwise, you will be taken to court for township paying for your basement and gravel for your yard. That looks like something totally right.
He couldn't spell that big word.
Well, he had problems with township. That S there, he tried to correct himself.
who's on the hook for Troy's bill for tonight there? How's that working as far as cost? I know you got a lot of mailing costs and all this stuff.
Well,
I think we need to share that.
his bill is gonna come to, I think I misspoke, his bill is really $195 an hour. It's one reason we decided to go with Skype instead of paying him to tour Minnesota, 3 hours each way.
This worked well.
So, there will be a bill coming in for that. We were thinking about splitting it up amongst the townships that wanted to participate. I know Spring Creek has mentioned that they will share costs. Strand said they would. I think, Sundal, I believe, said they would share costs. Lake Ida, you were gonna check and see, I think, if they wanted to share some of the costs. Walk-On, since they have their own attorney, I'm not sure if they would, and did not come tonight, I don't know if they would wanna participate in the cost. And Lockhart, they've sort of been a quasi-member. So there's at least 4 townships that would split this cost. And I would estimate, I think it was gonna come to, depending on what his, preparation costs are, I don't know, maybe $1,000 total, somewhere in there, maybe $1,200, I don't know, something like that for the evening. We went, they'll probably bill us an hour and a half or 2 hours for the night, something like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it
And
goes
so
to.
you're paying it personally, Scott? Is that what's happening? And then
I can do that, the bill.
Or you just send the bill and we'll.
Yeah, I'm gonna have him send the bill to the Township Questions,
Oh.
and then, I'll look at it and either send the bills out to the township treasurers, split up, or just pay it and then supervision.
Okay, well, you can send it out.
And then the mailings and things like that, well,
Yeah, you did a lot of work. on
no
this.
one's ever really asked, well, I guess I was asked to do it this time.
Yeah.
But,
Well, you should get paid back for,
I might submit for the postage.
and all that, yeah.
You got Gary Johansson's?
Johansson? I don't know his number, no, unless I have it in my phone.
It's listed on the county website.
Yeah, I'm sure he's
Yeah,
on that.
Gary's easy to get
He's
hold
on
of.
the county phone
He's
book,
on the
yeah.
website.
No, he's under environmental service
Were
officer.
these questions sent out to Gilchrist ahead of time?
Yes. Whether or not he saw them, I do not know. He did not, he did not really act like he had
Doesn't know much about
seen them.
Read them.
He had
No
said
idea.
earlier
Don't know
that
anything
it
myself.
was not important to him to receive them
Yeah.
much in advance because of his experience in dealing with many board questions over the years.
Rob, when you put in a basement?
18 years ago.
I knew you 18 years ago. I wasn't here.
Okay, I guess
I
we're
was
done
in New
then.
York.
So this is classic, I mean, this is great, this gets us up into the realm of, you know, I mean, you hear stories about nasty things happening You know, people are up in arms against frac sanding in southern Minnesota.
So much,
Did you hear
well, there's so much
stuff
that,
like this?
anything with a medical doctor, I get nervous about.
Or a Yale professor.
Well,
Somebody might say.
the Humane Society of the United States has basically a